Coming up on this episode of the Spiro Podcast.
From the speakers, all of the speakers had a lot of valuable information to share, and I picked up a lot of nuggets that I can take back home and use in my own personal business.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magrum.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform. You've heard us say it. If you've watched this any amount of time, it's a software platform designed to help you run your day-to-day real estate media business. But ultimately, we want to help you grow and scale. Welcome to the Spiro Podcast. I'm Craig Magrum, and this is a special edition. Todd, our owner, founder, fearless leader, Todd Kivimaki. Todd, we just came off a really awesome event.
Oh, Craig, we did. This is like the high of an event. We had Spiro Sync 2026, and you all were fabulous. Our goal was to bring you together and to help you build your business, to help you feel belonging with the support of an amazing community around you, and then to help you breathe. And breathe is what Spiro means. So Spiro is Latin for the words to breathe. And that was our goal. We wanted to do that. And man, we left energized, Craig.
We did. And the venue we were at, it was called Aileron.
Aileron.
Aileron. I can never say that word quite right. And it dawned on me finally. I'm a little slow on the uptake sometimes, Todd. But the conference was in Dayton, which of course is the home to the Wright brothers, and we have the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the home of flight. We argue with North Carolina about that. Sorry, North Carolina. It was here in Ohio. But the reference to lift, and I was looking at Aileron's website, and they're talking about helping business leaders lift in their life, in their business. And man, Todd, you and Shannon picked a beautiful, beautiful venue. We got it. Just they were beautiful grounds. But before we dive into this, I should have asked you this before we started recording. Is there anything you want to talk about with what's coming up with Spiro?
Well, I think the exciting thing with Spiro is just, it was great to talk to all of you and just be energized. You all are so incredibly supportive. It was great to see you. We had some new faces. I talked to a lot of you that said this was the first conference you went to. And I'm so honored that you chose us to be your first conference. And then many familiar faces. So it was great to see friends. I was just really energized by it. From a technical standpoint, we're working on a cycle right now that's going to polish off the mobile version of your websites and desktop versions. We're going to make video downloading super, super simple for your agents and a few other goodies. But I think the takeaway from these last few days was just the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of great conversations in the hallways between sessions. Lots of great questions about building a good business. And like I said, Todd, the venue itself, can you kind of describe, for those that are listening to the podcast, I want to strongly urge you, watch the YouTube version specifically for this episode, because Todd, I want you kind of, let's describe the venue. And we've got some great B-roll of the venue that was just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so to get to the venue, you might have flown into the Dayton International Airport or driven in through the city of Dayton. And then you go north of Dayton 10 minutes and you get to beginnings of the middle of nowhere. And you turn and you go down some country roads to another country road and you think, am I going to the right spot? I've been to this place many, many times, and still sometimes I'm like, did I turn wrong? And you turn into the front entrance that has just a nice, beautiful, non-crazy sign out front, like a stone sign, and you don't really see anything. You just see this naturescape, this rolling prairie, and you wind down about this 2 or 3 minute drive in and out of this prairie grassland. You might see a deer on your way in or some nature coming in, and then you take a long last hook, and you see this building like it's just supposed to be, like it's grown out of the ground. And it's not obtrusive. It doesn't even look that big, although it's humongous. And you pull up and you start to think like, why is this building in the middle of this prairie? And so then walking in, same thing, you see a different side of it as the parking lots to the left of the building. And as you walk into the building, there's this warmth and cozy feel of just like home. You look straight ahead and you would have seen Shannon and Amy's smiling face welcoming you in. Typically it's Robin who welcomes you in to the left. That's the aileron attendant. And you look straight back and you see the water, as there's a pretty good sized pond that flows behind it. See a double entry and the staircase goes down, and just, it's beautiful. It's just, it takes a while to take it all in because it's nothing in your face. But as the more you look at this building and this facility, the more it's like, this is really incredible as to what they did.
The architecture is gorgeous, and I'm a sucker for like wood and stone. Like my dream house will have like stone front, wood timbers. I kind of like that rustic cabin type feeling. This had that, like everything just fit where this building was.
It did. And I don't know much about the architect, but I'm going to look into it a little bit and research, but it really did feel that way. The main hall, the East Hall, was to the left. It's a nice size room with a giant screen behind it, and details such as nice windows that are up overhead, but then even they have these cool little blinds that go up and not down because they don't want you to see the blinds. So everything is thought completely through in the building. Now, a little history here, not to bore you all with history, but the individual that built it, his name was Clay Matee, and he was the founder of the Imes Dog Food Company. And he sold it for a couple of $1 billion, and then he started and funded and worked in other businesses. And he was from around the area, and he felt as though he had this desire to give back to entrepreneurs and businesses that were fueling the local economy and the national economy. And this is a place for entrepreneurs. I have done coaching there many times throughout my career. I would go and do a class that they have or do individual coaching. We're members of the facility. So Shannon and I and Steve, we meet there somewhat regularly. And he just wanted to give back. He was big on taking care of the environment, again, clean dog food. Like even the rainwater that is brought off the roof is used to flush the toilet. So just a lot of really little cool things throughout the building.
Speaking of water, there's a waterfall on site as well.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So on the opposite end of the building, down a staircase or the elevator, in the complete opposite way are more classrooms. We had 3 more large classrooms down there where we had the breakout sessions. And if you go out the far door in that wing, you will walk maybe 100 or 150 feet down a path, and you'll get to a railway. And you begin to hear this water. And as you walk down and you look out, there is this beautiful waterfall that's in this cave-like environment, and it's all natural. And it's just the beautiful thing was, this is the first time I'd seen it half frozen, Craig. So it was an all moment for me, as it were. It was this beautiful white crusted over, and then the sound of the water.
Yeah, when I went outside to find this, because I had seen you post about it on our Spiro Sync app, I don't think I noticed in your picture that it was frozen, but when I went down those stairs and came around, I'm like, oh, wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. And it's all natural. They actually looked at this land and built the facility or the campus into the land and orchestrated it in a way that it sat with the waterfall and then the large pond that snakes around. And they have this
pond with an island in it even.
Yeah, pond with an island. And when it's warm, they have a full walking path. They have a gazebo back there that you can work at, which is just beautiful. And 2 wood-burning fireplaces, which were just the smell of it. I think it's somewhat gas-powered, but it's wood in there. I don't know what they do. I was looking at it because I love a wood burning fireplace. But I always remember like my mom and dad fighting over who was like, my dad was building the fire the wrong way when we were growing up on Daisy Lane. And was the flue open? Because if you build a fire with the flue's not open, you get all the smoke in the house. So I was like, that's a really convenient way to have a somewhat real and a smelling fire.
Yeah. Nice furniture. People were gathering around that fireplace and having great conversations. And yeah, Todd, it was beautiful. And it really brought out the breathe part of our conference, right? I think, there's some great conferences out in Vegas, which is one type of vibe, but this was a completely different vibe and feeling. And I really just watching people and listening to people, I think they were truly able to breathe and, great time. And we appreciate all of you that came out. We know there was a lot of you that wanted to come that weren't able to. But Todd, we talked with some people just to get their first impressions and biggest takeaways. And we thought we'd take this episode to kind of get attendees' thoughts and feelings on the event.
Yeah. And we're going to play those for you to give you an idea as to what they thought about the event. This was after day one and throughout day two. We love doing these events. It's a ton of hard work. Shannon and Steve worked their butts off for quite a few months. And you all were so generous to come in from Scotland, London, California, Florida, Alberta, Toronto, like everywhere. And we had this major snowstorm at the tail end of it.
I think everybody got home safe. So
Shannon had this funny opening line. It made me chuckle. She said, for many, if you don't know Shannon is big on she's all in, especially with branding. So when she worked for Coldwell Banker, everything was blue, sparkly blue Jeep, blue shoes, blue coats, blue everything. She came to WOW. Everything's red car, red backpack, red laptop. She comes to Spiro, everything's pink now because she's like, oh, great, pink. I love pink. So everything's pink.
I forgot, Todd. She gave me a pink Stanley cup, and I was gonna have that as my sipping cup here. Future episodes, that will be the official Spiro cup that I drink from.
The pink Stanley. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but she said on stage, she's like, I love to turn everything pink. She's like, and then I looked at the weather forecast and I turned the U.S. pink, or the U.S. turned pink, something like that. Pink is ice on a map. And that's exactly what we didn't want. We did not want ice, and we got it.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Well, without further ado, myself, Todd, and Nick Kellis, you probably know Nick from helping onboard onto Spiro. We talked with those of you that came to the podcast, those of you that came to the conference. And so for those of you that weren't able to make it, here's a little summary of people's impressions of the first ever Spiro Sync Conference. Yeah. Hey, we're at the very first Spiro Sync Conference. I'm Craig Magrum, obviously, and this has been a fantastic first day, was yesterday. This is day two, and we're just talking with attendees. Is that the right term? Attendees? We'll call it good. So just getting first impressions, biggest takeaways. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Marty Petchik, Provision Photography, Northeast Ohio area. This has been phenomenal. If you're thinking about it for next year, just do it. Just do it.
What's been your biggest takeaway, Marty, from day one?
The camaraderie. It's amazing, the camaraderie between all the different photographers that are here. We're competitors, but we're not competitors. It's more like a family.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yes, sir.
Familiar name. Nice to meet you in person finally.
Nice to meet you finally.
All right, introduce yourself, name, company, where in the world are you?
So Peter Tice Media, and so we're based out of the Pittsburgh market.
Okay.
And we've been using you guys since, November 23, so
awesome.
2.5 years, something like that. As far as the event goes, this has been great. 99% chance coming back next year, barring injury, right? But barring snowstorm, I was going to say.
Right, yeah.
As for future watchers, there's a snowstorm coming tomorrow. So anyway, the camaraderie's been great. The lecture's been great. But for me, it's been the focus. And I think part of it was a couple of the keynotes or whatever, but a couple of the big sessions yesterday have had me, like, I thought it was this problem with my business, and I'm starting to realize, no, that's an issue. We'll get back to that, but this is the issue. So that aspect has been very helpful.
Awesome.
And then, of course, how do I make Spiro help that? It's a whole other conversation. Right. Anyway.
Well, we appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both of you.
The event's been, I think, very, very worthwhile.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Continuing the interviews with Spiro users, podcast watchers, and listeners, and our brothers from across the pond. Let me have you introduce yourself. Name, company, where in the world are you?
So I'm Stephen Webb. The company is Elite Media Limited, and we're based in Glasgow, Scotland, in the United Kingdom.
So, Todd, you don't see this right now, but we might have to put some closed captioning on the bottom.
I'm quite a well-spoken Glaswegian. If I speak in my normal Glasgow accent, you won't hear it.
I didn't understand what you said.
Sorry.
Anyway, man, long trip for you guys.
About 22 hours.
Yeah, and introduce yourself as well.
My name is Eduardo Chavez. I'm Mexican, but I've been living in Glasgow for the past 7 years. I met my best friend here, Steven, and we came with the idea of starting a business. We ended up in real estate media.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And now we're in Ohio with you guys.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think I want to get you guys on a standalone podcast just to talk about international real estate media.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we'll talk in the future. But first impressions of our very first Spiro Sync, day one. What were your impressions? What was your biggest takeaway?
Honestly, it was absolutely fantastic. The collaboration and the support that you get from, like everybody else who's in the same business. It's quite lonely there in Scotland. There's not many people that are doing what we're doing. And to come in here and everybody's kind of speaking the same language that we understand, it was just absolutely brilliant. Everyone's so friendly, and yeah, I took away so much from yesterday. I'm still processing it all, and I think that if we manage to get home on Sunday, through this storm,
Right.
actually I don't know, maybe we need to come and stay with you, Craig.
Yeah.
But when we get back home, I just feel like I'm just going to be totally enthusiastic and hitting the ground running, and I'm just buzzing to get started again. So yeah,
Awesome.
It's been amazing.
Eduardo, what was your biggest takeaway from day one?
Well, I think all the information that we gathered, all the information that was provided to us, just shows that we're doing the right things. It's
Sure.
assuring that we're in the right path for success
Right.
in our company. We're very happy and very grateful with Spiro and all the team. Put in a big effort to put this thing together, and we're thrilled. We're so happy we came. This is brilliant.
It's an honor for us to have you guys
thank
come
you
on.
so
Honest to
much.
be here. Thank you so much for having us. It's great.
Awesome.
Well, Chris, this is the beginning of day 2, the morning of Spiro Sync, and we're one day in, one day to go. And would you mind sharing your experience? Let the listeners know a little bit about you, where you're from, company name, and what do we do on day one?
Okay, my name is Chris Kelsey. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and the name of my company is Kelsey & Company Red Carpet Photography. I've been in business since the pandemic.
Okay.
Because of the pandemic, I lost my full-time job. I was doing photography part-time for many years.
Okay.
But I was photographing people. Mm-hmm. So I pivoted to real estate photography. And it was a lifesaver for me. So I've been doing it for about 3.5 years now, since the pandemic. And because of events like this, it has helped me hone in on the business and get a lot better. So I'm grateful to be part of this conference here that Spiro is having. It's the very first one.
First one.
So yesterday was excellent. From the speakers, all of the speakers had a lot of valuable information to share, and I picked up a lot of nuggets that I can take back home and use in my own personal business. And not only the speakers, just meeting the other attendees. A lot of the attendees, you got some newbies, and you got some older people who've been in the business a lot longer. So just listening to other business owners, it's been an eye-opener. So I've learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to day 2, and I'm pretty sure I'll pick up a lot more, and we want to thank you for hosting the event, and I'm very happy that I'm able to attend.
Well, our pleasure, and thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Continuing on from Spiro Sync 2026, introduce yourself. Who are you, your company, and where in the country are you?
Hey guys, it's Ima from Listing Aura by Ambient Visual Studios. We're based out of Washington, D.C.
You came a ways.
I did.
Awesome.
In the cold. It is very cold here.
It's cold, and it's going to get colder.
I know.
All right, so our very first Spiro Sync Conference.
Yep.
Honest feedback. What's been your first impression?
Honest feedback, 10 out of 10. I think the value for what you're getting here is amazing. I have considered doing some other masterminds that may be 20 times the price, but I think you guys need to raise your price next year. Number one, raise your price next year. If you didn't come, you're missing out. They are jam-packing every day with everything you need to really transform your business. So I will say, if you're planning, considering, thinking, come. And two, come ready to absorb. Come with your mic, come with your notepad, come ready to soak in everything and use it.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
All the time. I used to be a consultant. We did that all the time.
Awesome. All right, so what's been your number one takeaway between day one or day two? The thing that hit you the hardest?
So for where my business is at right now, I am trying to scale. I am trying to move away from being an owner-operator to just being an owner. So delegation has been on my mind. Systems have been on my mind. And the workshops that I've been able to attend have been able to answer those questions for me and allow me to bounce ideas off of those people who are doing 10 times better than me and still trying to grow. So one, helps me feel like, one, I'm not in a bad position, but two, the answer is in reach. Like, I'm ready. I'm already doing the things that I need to do. So it's just adding that confidence that I need to keep executing and refining it for me.
You're awesome, Ima. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you for doing this. Please keep doing it annually, every year.
All right.
Maybe twice a year.
Maybe I'll pass it on.
Maybe twice a year.
All right. Thanks, Ima.
No problem. Take it easy.
All right. We're continuing just the attendee testimonials and feedback and meeting so many great people. And you guys you were in my session yesterday, and that was awesome. I hope it was beneficial. Yes. But introduce yourself, your company, where in the world you are. I say world, not country, because we have some Scots here somewhere. But yeah, and just share impressions of the Spiro Sync Conference and your biggest takeaways so far between day one and day two.
Absolutely. So I'm Nelson Brown with Apollo Exposures, and we are based in Huntsville, Alabama, and this is our first conference in the real estate media world.
Oh, awesome.
So
we're honored.
It's been amazing here at Spiro Sync. We've learned a lot. There's a lot of takeaways, but the one that stuck out the most is something that we value in our company is the faith. The seminar that you did, just taking that, being a light to the world through our company and helping realtors and really just anybody that we interact with, showing Christ through that. So I think that was a blessing to be a part of that. And we appreciate that, Craig, for doing that for sure.
It's a privilege. Thanks.
My name is Steve Richardson with Ultimate Real Estate Media. We're based in the greater Indianapolis area, so Indianapolis and surrounding donut counties, but we do service all of Indiana. Humbly, I will say, when I first got to this conference, if you would have asked me, I would have said, my systems are great, my customer follow-up is great. And now that I've been here with other professionals who are more experienced than I am and just learning some of the things that they're doing, it's literally been mind-blowing. I'm excited once this ends to get back home. I'm changing some things, doing some things different, but it's going to be a new me, a new business in the rest of 2026.
Awesome. What's been your number one takeaway so far? Like one nugget that just really popped out at you at any of the sessions?
The importance of working on my business instead of always working in my business. Yeah. I kind of reached that point where I felt like I was making more with it just being me and not having additional photographers. Yeah. But now I'm realizing, based off my business goals, to get to that next level, it's not going to, success isn't going to be built alone. It's going to be built with a team of people around me.
That's really good. Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
My name is Justin Dickey. I do not have a company. I'm a solar operator out of Huntington, West Virginia. When I saw the advertisement for this event, I knew I had to be here. And I'm glad I came. I'm meeting tons of new people. I'm getting bits of information from everyone, how they operate their business, what they do differently, what I can implement. And I've been to several breakout sessions. I'd say one thing I really took away was the cost acronym that Eli went over to figure out where your bottleneck in your business is.
Right.
Additionally, I need to let go of some of the processes that I'm taking care of. Either get an admin figure to handle that, or just any kind of help.
So how long have you been in business, Justin?
I've been at it for 2 years.
Awesome.
And excellent decision. I've been very happy, very blessed.
You having fun?
Tons of fun.
All right,
that's
you guys
what it's all
having
about.
fun? Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it. All right, continuing the conversation, getting more first impressions of Spiro Sync. A familiar name and face. We've seen it at a lot of conferences, Ian. Go ahead and introduce yourself, your company, and where in the country you are.
My name is Ian Jones. I own Avia Media Group, and we're in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, I was like, no, we're in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, the conference was in Las Vegas, but his business is in Las Vegas as well. All right, our very first Spiro Sync Conference. We're a little nervous, obviously, being our first event, but honest first impressions and opinions.
Personally, I love it. You don't get a lot of opportunities to be around other professional media company owners. So, just like the other events that go on throughout the year in different parts of the world, the most value is going to be the in-between sessions that are happening on stage.
Right.
As valuable as the sessions on stage are, it's really the connections in between, and just the more opportunities I can get to meet other media company owners, there's more opportunities for me to learn and grow my business.
Right, building community.
100%, yeah. Community and growth is what Spiro Sync is all about, and it's what I have in mind for my business.
What was your biggest takeaway from day one?
I think the biggest takeaway that it's almost everything is. Excuse me for a second. There's a lot of people who have the same problems that you do, or a very, very parallel problem.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who've overcome the problems that you're currently having. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to meet those people and just get a different perspective on I don't even want to say problem, let's change the word to issue.
Right.
Whatever issue you have, how are people approaching, how people solve, how people move beyond that issue.
Right.
And the more opportunities you can get to connect with other media company owners who may or may not have had that, and the more opportunities you have to fix that issue, right? But at the same time, providing that to somebody has immense value as well.
Yeah.
I actually know what I'm talking about. That's really good.
What I love is the feeling suddenly that I'm not alone. I'm not the only one dealing with this issue, because when we're out on the shoots, we feel like we're the only ones dealing with this issue or struggle or whatever it is. So to get in this kind of community and okay, this is normal, type of thing. So, how about you? Introduce yourself, company, where in the country are you?
Okay. Hi, I'm Clay Whistler. I own Whistler Studios Real Estate Media in Eastern Iowa.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, first impression of Spiro Sync.
I loved it.
Year one.
I love the size of it. The room is just the perfect size for people to kind of get into small groups or one-on-one and talk, connect, get to know each other, learn about each other's businesses. I've loved the breakout sessions.
Yeah.
They're really collaborative. A lot of people asking questions, problem solving together. It's been fun to see that.
Very cool. What was your biggest takeaway from day one? Or piece of nugget?
Yeah, I would say one of the things, I won't say it's my biggest, but it was a good one, was just Eli going through the focus framework in his breakout, where he was saying there's a little formula where it was talking about this is how many clients you need to get to this point in your business. Let's say it was $50,000 and a month. And then using this formula, this is how many clients you need to get per month to get to that point in the time you want to do it. So
practical.
Kind of word vomited there, but
you're good.
So basically, I figured out how many clients I need to get a month. That was
right.
Very nice. So yeah,
awesome.
That was good.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Your time.
Spiro Sync, and what do you think of all this? Is feels kind of unique to me. What's your take on this community event that Todd and Shannon and the team have put together?
I think it's awesome. I mean, I love your team. Like I've said, I always learn from you guys. But the Spiro and rep community as well in particular, and they kind of intertwine, are so unique. It's such a good group of people who are just looking to help each other and grow with each other, even if they're in the same market. I love being around these people, just so growth oriented, so positive. awesome people to be around. I want to be in person with them as many chances as I get. And then just, tons of learnings, like business fundamentals. So I'm learning, even if we're just talking about, real estate photography, it's like, how do you build a team? How do you build good culture? Get yourself out of the day-to-day. Everything comes back to refinement of the basics, and it's so good to hear people who've crushed it in the industry getting up and sharing that. And I think everyone's walking away smarter, fired up, motivated, but also just going to be a smarter operator of their business. So.
And we've talked. I mean, we've chatted about this, just casually. What fascinates me is every rep owner has like their own little duke, like they have their own little fiefdom, and they all kind of run it their own way, and they all get their brain kind of stuck in.
It's so stuck in the way you've been doing it.
Yeah. I was talking to Eli about that. Eli took it global. Yeah. And in how he brings people along, and I think Todd took it global with software as a service. The most interesting thing to see with Todd was he set up Spiro in his brain, and Shannon will joke about it. The last 2 years we've been learning how to make it more global, right? Because we all are, and people will get into ruts. You're running your own business. You're not talking to other people. You're not interacting. You don't have time. I mean, you listen to a podcast on your way home, but you got to deal with footage and clients and 19 other things. And so it's neat to see people come in and go, I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that.
Or just get out of your own way. It's like, you probably see people not adopt Spiro because it doesn't have some exact feature for the way they've been doing their workflow. It's like, realistically, you can probably just change that part of your workflow and do it the efficient way that they've designed in the software. Or I see people all the time, they're like, I can't adopt AI because it's not my exact style. Your clients aren't going to notice, realistically. You need to do what's best for you and your goals, which is like getting yourself uninvolved from the day-to-day, having scalable systems. And I think or even, some people are just scared of cold calling and whatever that mindset barrier is. You talk to people, you see them doing it and winning, and you're like, oh, I can do that. And when you're sitting at home, not talking to other people in the industry, you don't have that perspective. You need to get that perspective.
And the energy that comes with getting that perspective. Yeah, what he said.
100%.
He said, well, you are the future. It makes me feel good. When my brain doesn't work, I'm like, pretty pictures. I think I knew the guy that made that.
I appreciate you guys.
Really good stuff. Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Is Nick here from WOW on the custom content side, and then Spiro, business development specialist. And we are here at Spiro Sync at Aileron in lovely, albeit a little chilly, Dayton, Ohio.
Balmy.
Yeah, the Canadians are walking around without jackets on. It's like they're gonna get sun at lunch, and the poor Southerners are like, So we got a snowstorm coming, and we are still having a ball. And here with two dear friends that I had the honor of bringing into our onboarding program. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Who are you, and where are you from?
I'm Ron from Metro Stores Media, and this is the CEO, Tracy.
The boss.
The boss.
The boss. What are you guys loving about this event, Spiro Sync, here? The first ever, the community, the knowledge. Talk to me.
I love the people. Most of the part, my part of the business is the heavy lifting, the shooting, the drone, the video stuff. Not so much the day-to-day stuff. But when I have got involved, the people from Spiro have been really great at helping. And then meeting the people that are in the business and getting the insights from them to help us grow our business has been fantastic.
Yeah, coolest thing. What's your biggest takeaway? Some really good speakers here, high-powered stuff. I mean, what's cool is it's the people you would see at a typically bigger convention or conference, and then in this small, we're all getting to know each other. So speak to that.
I like the personality. Getting closer to people that and figuring out what they're doing, and then realizing that all the mistakes I'm making, they've made, so it helps us to feel better about moving forward.
Yeah,
things like that.
We are a community. Everybody here, we were just saying, everybody here has had a full bladder and a setting sun to deal with. There's nobody in this room. It's like, you haven't experienced what I have. Everybody here is, so we're all kind of, there's a humility, and a camaraderie. Cool. Well, should anybody come? What do you say to next year's Spiro Sync?
Already ready to go.
Be here. Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. This has been phenomenal. So thanks.
I love you guys. You guys are great.
You.
And you're just up north. All right, good stuff.
Hey guys. All right, more interviews here from the Spiro Sync Conference, and I'm standing in the company of greatness right now. These are our regional trainers and VidTogs for WOW Video Tours in our Columbus, Cincinnati, and Dayton markets. I'm going to have you introduce yourselves and then biggest takeaway from the conference so far. All right.
I'm Michael. I'm the regional trainer for Columbus market for WOW Video Tours. My biggest takeaway is how every market in real estate is so different, and all the people here are adapting to their markets and to service their clients.
Yeah. I am Nathan Adams. I am in the Dayton market. I'm the regional trainer there. But yeah, like Michael said, we're just being able to learn new things, other areas of the world and how they adapt and grow in the real estate market. And yeah, being able to network is nice.
I'm Craig. I'm from the Cincinnati market. My biggest takeaway
By the way, Craig, great name.
Oh, it is a great name. I know. It's a really great name. My biggest takeaway is just this industry is really evolving right now. A lot of things are like brand new to me coming here and checking it out a lot with the AI and the auto HDR. Everything's just moving very fast right now, it seems like. So it's kind of cool to just learn some new stuff and see how things are changing.
Yeah, excellent. Guys, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Man, what great feedback and insight from those that were able to make it to Spiro Sync 2026, our first ever. Thank you so much to all of you that came. Todd, any final thoughts, things to wrap up with here as we end the near of this episode?
Yeah, just a huge shout out, like you said, an echo. Thank you to all of you that came, that took the sacrifice of coming, of leaving your business, leaving your families, and coming out to see us and spend some time with us. Wanted to thank all of the speakers and the breakout room leaders. It was great. This was fueled by you. People were moved by you. People's businesses will be changed by what you shared. So thank you for that. Also, wanted to shout out our sponsors. This cannot be done without our sponsors. And the thing about our sponsors is that these are all people that are extremely close to us. We asked 4 people to be sponsors, and if one of them would have said no, we would have had 3 sponsors. So that is just how important people are to us and how much we trust these individuals. Rep Coaching, Eli and Jared and Aaron P., they were there. We think they have some phenomenal things with Rep Coaching and Engine and Talent. And he is just doing some incredible things for the industry. So thank you to Eli and the team. Auto HDR, Matt and the team were there. Just what he showed on stage of what's coming, and I'm not gonna spoil it, is incredible. What they're working on. We sent over 1 million images to Auto HDR last year and could not be happier. And the way that he has just changed the industry is amazing. Nick at Titus. Nick and Brian at Titus. Brian was there as well. Titus Pay at Close, our business. We're loving that at WOW. Pay at Close. Agents are loving it. It's giving them the ability to market the listing the way they need to market the listing and not have to worry about paying it. We're also saving a ton of money on our credit card processing. So huge shout out to them that they are creating these products just for us. And last but not least, Aaron with Cuba Casa. Cuba Casa, we use them and love them, use them every day. Aaron is a phenomenal individual. I always love spending time with him. Our values align. He's just a great family man. And we are happy to do business with them. And we just want to thank all 4 of them for coming and making the event possible and making it a huge success.
It was a great time, and I really enjoyed talking with everybody. I know, Todd, you did too. You and your awesome pink fur coat. You walked into the room and of course Todd would do that.
You know, y'all know I love to have some fun, and I honestly love it. Like if you all have some fun at my expense. So I have older brothers, and we grew up by giving each other a hard time in a loving way. And I am always happy to laugh at myself. So I thought, why not a double XL pink faux fur jacket?
Guys, you remember how Todd challenged you to do face tattoos on me a while back? If you happen to find a picture of Todd in said pink faux fur coat, feel free to do some creative image generation. You know, AI could probably do some amazing things with Todd's picture in that coat. And please email those to us, hello@spiro.media. We would love to see your
Yes, I'll print them and put them on my wall. One awesome. Quick funny story, Craig. So the day of the VIP event on Saturday, wake up and go, and I was leading the session. We were planning for 2026. And I start to drive, and I have Nick Kellis with me. I'm taking him. We're going down to the venue. And my tire pressure monitor says that my front right tire has 3 pounds of pressure.
3?
Like, oh, that's 3.
Oh, jeez.
Now, I'd put 10 pounds of it was 10 pounds low about a week and a half ago when the cold dipped in, and that was somewhat normal. I don't have the newest of all cars. And I thought, well, maybe it's just older tires. And I start driving, and 3 quickly goes to 0. I'm like, okay, this is like either something's wrong or with the reading, or the tire's just completely flat. Well, the tire was flat. Long story short, we pull into the gas station. I try to put air in it. It will not accept any air. And I told Nick, I was like, let's just drive across the street and down the road and, just drop it off there. He's like, you can't drive on it. He's like, you're going to ruin something. I'm like,
the rim. Yeah, for one.
Yeah. I was like, okay, let's change it because it's 4 degrees outside and it sounds like a fun thing to do right now.
We're tough in Ohio like that.
Yeah. So Nick, Carter, and they help me. We get the tire changed and get the spare on. I drive down the road, and I'm wearing this pink faux fur jacket, by the way. There's a picture of me changing the tire. And I'm kind of liking the jacket by now. But every time you walk into a place where people don't know you, it's kind of interesting. If I walk into a group with I walk into a group with all Sync people, they embrace me, and they just laugh at me, and they, in a kind, loving way, and I feel good. Well, I walk in this tire shop. It's a little bit of a tougher tire shop. Dudes not saying anything because you got tattooed up and a little bit tougher. And I all 6'7" of me walking with this double XL pink faux fur jacket, and I got my water bottle with me because I carry my water bottle everywhere. And I don't even know what this man is thinking, but I'm just like, don't ask. I know it's ridiculous. But I just...
what dominated the conversation in that shop the rest of the day.
So anyways, that was me in Dayton, Ohio with a pink faux fur jacket at the tire shop. And then Nick and Carter rescued me and got me out of there, and then we went to the VIP. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm walking around Dayton, Ohio with this pink faux fur jacket.
I saw that photo on Facebook, I think. We're going to grab that. That'll be here in this episode. Again, another reason to make sure those of you that are listening to the podcast, make sure you get the YouTube version as well.
I kept us all a little.
Awesome.
That's it for me. But I just had to tell that so you all could laugh at me a little bit more.
It was a good time. We would love to hear from you if you weren't able to make it, but you have interest in maybe coming to another event. We would love to hear from you and get your thoughts on what are you looking for in a conference, in an event. Drop us an email, hello@spiro.media, and who knows, there might be more of these events coming up. So Todd, thank you so much. Thank you to you and Shannon for just putting on a fantastic event for those of us that are continuing to invest in ourselves and in our businesses. I think everybody had a great time. So,
hey, my pleasure. Thank you for speaking. I had a lot of great compliments about your session. If you're asking, hey, did you record the session? We did. And we will begin to get those edited and let you all know how you can get those if you would like to listen to them.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you for joining us another week here on the Spiro podcast. And as I challenge everybody at the end of the conference, if you have a business topic, a business related question about how to build a strong real estate media business, again, email us hello@spiro.media. We would love to tackle that question. If we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody that does. We have a lot of great speakers, a lot of great business owners out there that have dealt with things that we would love to get onto the podcast and to share their knowledge with you. So again, hello@spiro.media. Until then, make sure you take time, especially during this cold part of the year, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, to be thankful for your blessings and make sure you take a breath. Have a great week.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.